Hey guys, and welcome back to Pokemon Leaf Green Nuzlocke Challenge. In the last episode, we got to Brock, but didn't get the chance to fight Brock. Or no, wait, we did fight Brock. Sorry, it's been a while. We did fight Brock, we started getting to Mount Moon, and didn't quite get to Mount Moon. That's what it was. Sorry, it's, I haven't done this in 2 weeks, so... And here's one of the strongest trainers in the area. There are two more that aren't quite as strong, but have level 14 Pokemon. It's just, they're more... It's a Clefairy and a Jigglypuff, so they constantly put you to sleep, and that's where they're terrifying. Whereas Spear is terrifying because it's a strong Pokemon. But because of Zor, there's no issue. Speaking of Zor, let's give an update on the parties. Marcus earned some respect with his performance in the last episode against Brock, but they're still nervous about him because of his issues with rock Pokemon. So they have a little bit of respect for him, but at the same time they're afraid he's going to get himself killed still. So Zor's kind of taken on a second-in-command position behind Baldwin on the team. He's kind of taken that second position and rolled with it. Lancer, which I just sent out, he still does not want to fight. He still has issues fighting. And that worries the team in the fact that he also could get himself killed because of his issues with fighting. But other than that, everything's pretty much been the same as the last time. I do think it's... One thing I do think is interesting about Pokemon is Zubat has this negative stereotype that he appears all the time in caves. But in all actuality, the most he appears is like 40% in caves, whereas when you're surfing, the only thing you'll run into surfing, 100% of the time surfing, you run into Tentacle. But Tentacle doesn't have that negative stereotype of appearing all the time. And I think that's interesting, that there's that dynamic. And I'm not sure where it came from, but maybe it's because it seems like you're in caves forever, whereas it doesn't seem like you're surfing forever. Maybe that's it. But caves are a little annoying in Pokemon in general. But I just think that's kind of interesting. Here's this annoying Jigglypuff I was talking about. We're gonna have Lancer try his hand at it. I know. He doesn't like to fight. It's probably a bad idea. But he's gonna have to deal with it. This is the problem. It's not necessarily that Jigglypuff's strong, it's that Jigglypuff frickin' puts you to sleep all the time. You wake up, sleep. Oh, okay, I guess it's fairly strong. That just did 10 damage. 11 damage now, okay. I guess it's stronger than I gave it credit for. Okay, that certainly was interesting. I'm sending out Paulden because it's increasing its defense, but not its special defense. So Bubble should be effective. Ha ha ha! Suck it, Puff. Yeah. Anyway, I must apologize about no video on Wednesday. I am going to put out both this and the Robotech Battle Cry today. My daughter just started school full-time, and it's been rough. We definitely have to change the way we do everything, and we've just had some other stuff come up as well. I had a very rough day Wednesday at work, so I definitely didn't want to do anything after I got off of work. And then Thursday I was like, oh, I'll post Robotech Battle Cry. And then we had to pay bills and all that fun stuff. Adulting. I had to adult. It's something, but doesn't matter now because now we have Roy. We're gonna catch the Pokemon here. And it's a Pidgey. Oh, good. I'm not opposed to using the Spearow evolutionary line, but I definitely prefer Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot line over that. And birds are pretty much necessity in this game. Especially once you get Fly. Man, I use Fly all the time. Because no matter what, your opponent's only hitting, at most, every other turn when you're using Fly. Which, compare that to maybe, I'm naming it Max for obvious reasons, best pilot in Robotech, period. But yeah, just you have a higher chance once you get Fly to strong attack. It helps out because you can pretty much warp to whatever town you've been to by that time, which is almost every town by then, and you can excuse me. Let's see, Bullet Seed. Okay. And by that time you can, a Paris, that will help. That will help against, Misty. That way I have two, Pokemon that are effective. And that's a good thing. And I believe water does normal damage to electric, but it does do half damage to grass. So, this might be the first Pokemon I send out. Okay. Whoa. That was positive. That was a very positive thing. So, there we go. Paris was caught. This data was added to the Pokedex. Woo! Give nickname? Nope. Yes, I'm just kidding. as to one of the rules of a Nuzlocke. Of course, I'm going to give it a name, and it is going to be Tesla. For those of you who don't know the secondary / non-canon material, Tesla was an invid that tried to overtake the Regent by evolving through eating the fruits of the flower of life. Of course, he ended up failing, and he ended up giving up his life, but, you know, we don't know how much of that is canon anymore, because they haven't redone that story, and because they haven't redone that story, we don't know how much of the original material is still valid and what's not. Because they already changed some of the material towards the end. By Rick being present, Rick and Jean and Lisa being present on Tyrol at the time of Edwards' betrayal. Which they were considered traitors at that time in the original material, and were unallowed to go. So, also they were on another planet liberating, you know, the planet from Invid or something, you know? Something small, not too big. Oh, man. Very, very soon we will no longer have to worry about these stupid Kakunas and Metapods. One thing I like about them is they give out a lot of experience. But obviously it takes a long time to kill them. But they give out a lot of experience, they don't do any damage to you. But man, they just take so long. So, there's another Zubat. The Zubats just appear all throughout this game, and it's crazy. I'm gonna heal before I battle her. She is the one with the Clefairy, that's level 14. She's gonna use the exact same strategy as the Jigglypuff. Kind of annoying. And I can't remember whether Jigglypuff's more powerful or whether Clefairy is more powerful in terms of base attack. It's been a long time since I was into the competitive battling. I was into it for a while, and then just like with video games in general, once I got married and had a child, I don't have a lot of time to play video games anymore. Pretty much the only time I play video games is actually for you guys. That is the only time I get the chance to play video games, really, anymore. Which is kind of sad. But it happens. It happens. The reason being is I only get a new game maybe once or twice a year, depending on how many games I want during that year. This year I only wanted 2 games, and I've gotten one of them, and I enjoyed it. It was not critically received well. I enjoyed it. And that was Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It does have some issues, I will admit, but I enjoyed it. And then the other one was the 5th Halo game, which is the one I still haven't gotten. Looks interesting because of how similar it is now to Call of Duty. It would be interesting in the Halo universe. But I do not have it, so I can't say whether it is interesting or not. But yeah, since I don't really have any new games that I play a lot of, the only time I really play video games is when I'm playing for you guys. And it's pretty much video games I've played before. I'm thinking now, I don't want to jinx myself, but at the same time I have to be realistic. I'm thinking if I end up losing the Nuzlocke challenge, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and give you a double dose of Robotech by playing the Macross Saga. However, because Macross Saga is a side-scrolling shooter that does not change the patterns or anything like that, I'll just show you each of the planes and each of the levels. So I'll play each level once, and I'll do it with a different plane each time. Maybe Roy's Global War plane is very difficult to use. So if I show that one off, it'll be on the first level. Max is very difficult to use because he has no firepower. So we'll see. I'll see what I can do. There's a fire truck outside. That's interesting. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm not going to jinx myself. I do not want to jinx myself. But especially since we've been doing so well. But I know that's going to change eventually. I'm going to lose a Pokemon one of these days. Ooh, water gun, nice. And it's just realistic to expect that. Especially my playstyle. I prefer to be an offensive guy. I don't prefer to use these stat-changing moves. I'm trying to change that. It's very difficult for me after years of being the offensive guy. It's very difficult to change and think about a little bit more strategically than I used to in the past. I used to just breed and get myself the best of the best base stats I can, best everything, and just go to town with offensive attacks. But for Nuzlocke, you can't do that because you can only catch one Pokemon per area, and you can okay, there we go. What time? Okay, we're still pretty good. So I do have to think a little bit more defensively, which is a struggle for me because that's just not how I normally play the game, but we'll have to see. Let's see. Star Piece, nice. But yeah, I've had tremendous luck thus far, and I can't see my luck lasting throughout the game. There are some very difficult places. Misty, I've already said, is one of them, because Water Pulse is a 60 base power attack, which is ridiculous for level 20. And she just can wreck you up. So I'm kind of nervous about that. And then there's a couple other places that are fairly difficult. You pretty much face Koga and Sabrina pretty much back to back, and it's a rather large spike in level between them, so it's I'm a bit nervous about that as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and heal, and then I think I'll end it here. In the next episode, we will finish Mount Moon and get to Cerulean City. And then we'll train up for Misty. But this has been Dean from the briefing room. This has been the Pokemon Leaf Green Nuzlocke Challenge. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.